Seriously.
No, I mean, it's, I have a lot of fun when we make a mess, but there's a part in my brain because I'm anal retentive that I know there's an extra syllable there. I did it on purpose for comedic value.
I did it on purpose, man.
I'm thinking, wow, this is somebody's gonna have to clean this up.
Yeah, somebody
like Eddie, hopefully. Okay, no, but when I created the siphon, you know how you siphon gas out of a tank? You suck a little bit
all the time.
And then with fuel prices, you got to find fuel somehow. But yeah, all of a sudden it was like gushing into my mouth from both of these tubes.
Well, the way that.
And I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to asphyxiate for a second.
But the way you stop it, I believe.
Why would I went like that?
Oh, you did that?
Yeah, eventually. But I was panicking at first.
A little bit got on the table before that happened. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I need my laptop back because we have another question that we were going to answer.
Be careful with that because, well, you'll see what can happen.
There's some Arnold Palmer you're putting your computer into there. See that?
It's probably fine. I mean, if you've seen what my kids put the iPad in, I would think this would be okay.
Jacqueline Leslie Ann Green, that's a lot of names in one color, says, what is the best and or correct term for a meal between lunch and supper? Breakfast and lunch have brunch, supper and lunch shouldn't be left out. I do find it interesting that this is not a thing already. Is there a reason for it?
Well, because, I mean, if you think about the things that it would be called, it doesn't make it appealing. Like Linner or Lunner. That's not appetizing.
Dunch.
Yeah, that Dunch is not appetizing. Hey man, you want to grab some Dunch?
It's great.
It's like, hey man, I'm gonna go take a Dunch.
Okay.
That's what it seems like it should be.
Dinich. No, Dunch is good. Dunch. Hey, this place they have a great Dunch.
What about Dinch?
Dinch, they got a great Dinch. It's like, what, a ditch?
Ditch?
They got a ditch out front you got to walk across?
Dunch.
Oh, that Dunch. You had that Dunch? I've had their lunch and their brunch.
I think Linner.
Looking forward to their Dunch.
I think Linner is better than Dunch.
What about if you combine dinner and supper?
Dupper.
Sinner.
That's already been taken. It means something else.
Yeah, but it's also the same meal combined into one. That's why it doesn't work. The logic breaks down. But in North Carolina, dinner is lunch.
That's right. Did you know that?
Amongst a certain group of people in North Carolina, dinner is lunch and supper is dinner.
Stevie, you're from North Carolina. Did they ever refer to lunch as dinner?
No.
Really?
I think it was now, first of all, Coach Royal always called lunch dinner.
Yeah,
and I was always confused because my family didn't do that.
My grandparents, Nana, Papa, and their family would call lunch dinner.
And then dinner was supper, though. No one ever said.
Right.
No one said lunch. It's like what? And definitely there was no brunch.
Was that like noon?
Yeah, lunch.
Yeah, at noon.
Lunch was just called
dinner.
Dinner.
And then supper, when the sun went down, that's called supper. Right, and breakfast is what was called the first meal.
But they just called it breakfast.
Breakfast is what my kids would call it. Breakfast. But, okay, Dunch. I'll call it Dunch.
Maybe you just call it snack. Snack time.
Well, I think the Brits call it tea time.
Yeah, I don't want tea at that time.
But then they only drink tea.
Oh, they eat biscuits too.
Which
are like cookies.
And, well, the Hobbits have second breakfast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
Second lunch.
Interesting fact from Stevie.
Dinner traditionally had been used to refer to the main and most formal meal of the day, which from the Middle Ages until the 18th century was most often the midday meal.
Dinner originally referred to the midday meal because it was the most important meal of the day.
So Coach Royal was right.
And my grandparents
were right.
You seem disappointed about it.
Well, there's the thing is that there's this movement to eat more often during the day. Most of the really healthy folk say you should eat like every 3 hours or I don't know, however often. So if you talk to somebody who's like really in shape and really cares about their body,
They eat little bits more often.
right? And so they'll be like,
It's usually like almonds.
breakfast, second breakfast, lunch, second lunch, dinner, second dinner, and it's just little bits. So that's like 6.
They don't eat a second dinner. Then. No, they don't eat.
Well, they time it out so that the
Midnight snack.
Yeah, the last meal of the day is like dinner time. Then they don't eat late at night.
You mean
that's
supper
when-
time?
Yeah, they don't eat past supper. I've never been. There's a couple of times in my life when I thought, you know what, this is a big burrito. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna eat half of this burrito. Never once have I followed through in the meal. I always get to the other half and I'm like, I still want to eat that.
Well,
half.
what the key is when you get it, you make the decision and you cut it in half right there.
Oh, I do that, but then I still eat the other half.
So look at this neatly cut half that I'm supposed to eat right now.
Maybe you cut it in half and then you
Put it in styrofoam.
away. You got to get it away from me. Take it to the car. And I'm like, I got to go to the car to get that burrito and bring it back in. I don't want to do that. That's the only way. I have to protect myself from myself.
I find that just cutting something in half is good enough for me because then it's a reminder that I have already made a decision, and then I'd be letting myself down if it's like a boundary that you don't cross.
But I'm convinced that you're legitimate. If you eat half a burrito from, say, Chipotle,
oh gosh,
you're
yes.
you're not hungry for the second half.
Oh no.
And I think I could eat 2 of these
Oh
burritos.
me? Oh, but you are?
I want another burrito when I finish the first burrito.
Well, the thing that we tell our kids is, I was taught clean your plate, but the thing that we teach our kids is listen to your body.
You might want to look into that.
I feel like we've talked about this before.
I don't tell my kids to listen to their body.
When it comes to eating lunch or dinner or dunch, listen to your body. When it comes to
about
dating
listen to your
relationships,
stomach?
don't listen to your body.
Just simplify this by saying listen to your tummy or listen to your stomach. Your stomach knows when it's full.
Well, sometimes it's your brain
Okay.
that's speaking to you.
Think with your brain or your stomach. This whole listen to your body thing, you're going to come back and regret that real bad. Dad, I was just listening to my body. You told me that all my life. Think about it, man.
I am thinking about it. Look at my face. I'm thinking about it.
I can't get my
Listen
kids
to your stomach.
I can't
Is that better?
No, it's great. And it starts growling, you feed it, and then it stops growling, you stop. My kids, I can't get them to eat a whole lot though. I don't have that trouble. They don't have the same. They didn't inherit my problem of eating too much. We have to
That's good.
have a negotiation every single evening.
To eat.
Yeah, and it gets ugly every single night.
They won't die. They'll eat before they die.
That's true. I should just let them.
Listen to your heart when he's calling for you. Listen to your heart. There's nothing else you can do. I don't know where you're going, and I don't know why. Listen to your heart before he tells you goodbye. That's the version when it goes into the guitar solo.
Yeah, you should have done half of that song and left the other half for later.
Not at the end when it's ending, when it resolves.
Who sings that song?